or something.
Okay. I hope so, because that's why we're doing what we're doing. I
Right.
think a big part for me is, yeah,
Yeah.
so we can play things out here.
Well, and I think an important part of this message is it's happening in all of our relationships. It's just not parent child. I mean, we're working this dynamic in so many different relationships. I mean, my mom's going to get on my nerves. My husband's going to get on my nerves. You know, when my daughter came back, I just said, "Look, I'm not walking on eggshells. I'm going to piss you off again. I know it. I absolutely know that I'm going to step on your toes again." And in that moment, you're just going to have to take care of you. Do whatever it is that you want to do. Yell at me, whatever it is you need to do. Ask your sister how to yell at me. She's very good at it. Take cues from her. But I mean, that's just the reality is that when you're living in a world with other people, and we do, we're going to step on toes without any intention whatsoever of hurting somebody else just
Yeah.
because we're not aware of their triggers. And it's not our responsibility to make sure that everything we say lands so softly with people when we don't have any idea what their triggers are.
Right.
But I don't think people really understand that when you're upset by something, it's in you.
It is. Yep.
And that person was a gift in that moment to help you notice something about yourself or work through something and heal something in yourself. You know, like Jillian, what came to mind when you were talking about that, like with your mom and, you know, boyfriends and stuff like that, and even in the past. And, you know, you've been through a lot as a little kid, and that's a rough life for a little kid. But taking it to, okay, what is this moment teaching me? Why does this have to happen in my life? It happened. You know, we can't do anything about the past. It happened. So now what do you do with it? Well, that must have given you the most incredible contrast to know what a good guy looks like.
You'd be surprised, actually. Um, I think that it caused a lot of pain in me, and I think that it, in a way of like trying to separate myself so far from my mom in that situation, I kind of came full circle like a little horseshoe and started emulating like the things that I didn't want to be out of a place of pain. And then I think it took a lot of like healing, a lot of not making great decisions, not choosing the greatest people to surround myself with to finally like realize my worth and come to terms with the fact that like just because I felt abandoned and I felt like I was worthless from somebody who was incredibly important in my life didn't make me worthless or didn't make me any less valuable than the days that I was her favorite person or I was super valuable to her going on road trips, doing things that a mother and daughter would do. Um, so I think like after a bunch of healing, it definitely has given me really strong and maybe too strong of boundaries because now I think I'm at the point in my life where I'm realizing it's a little too easy to cut people off. And that's where that fine line of like boundaries and estrangement come. Um, but I think after healing, yeah. But I also think that like going through things like that, it does a lot more damage than a lot of people are willing to admit. Especially like some of the doing the job that I do and hearing some of the mothers that call in and us on like domestic abuse and I can hear the kids in the background and that's triggering for me because I understand that that's going to be a long-term thing that those children deal with and that brings it back to really it kind of steals my resolve even more to understand what is still broken and why those decisions still affect me to this day.
But you're only 29. We all
Yeah.
went through this too. We went through the boyfriends, the ex-husbands. I mean, we went through it. And this is what you do, you know, and you're right. You do realize, okay, if it's very easy to sit in my meditation chair by myself, but I got to take this out into the world and actually practice this in front of other people. It was very easy to be alone and divorced and single. It was very easy.
Oh, it was
It's
so easy.
very difficult to be in relationship. It is difficult. It's so easy to write people off. It's difficult to be in relationship.